সদ্গময় তমসমা জ্যোতির্গময় মৃত্যুর্ময় মা মৃদঙ্গময়. Respected friends, ladies and gentlemen, we are here together to express our deepest sorrow and grief, to pray for eternal peaceful rest of the departed soul of our illustrious colleague, late Bhupat Oza. We shall observe 2 minutes prayer in silence. All are requested to stand up and maintain 2 minutes silence while praying. Om Bhurvasva Tatsaviturbhagyena Bhargo Devasya Mahi Yona Prasadat. May I request Mrs. Harsha B give us a devotional song in prayer. Harsha.
Namaste everyone.
Hello, namaste everyone. छोड़ झमेला झूठे जग का, छोड़ झमेला झूठे जग का, कह गई दास कबीर, पार लगाएंगे एक पल में तुलसी के रघुबीर। छोड़ झमेला झूठे जग का, भूल भुलैया जीवन तेरा, साचो नाम प्रभु को। भूल भुलैया तेरा मेरा दिन भर करता पर तेरा कछु नाही। तेरा मेरा दिन भर करता पर तेरा कछु नाही। माटी माटी का ये खेल है सारा, मिलेगा माटी माही। माटी का ये खेल है सारा, मिलेगा माटी माही। मीरा जी के गीत बुलाए, मीरा जी के गीत बुलाए, सबको जमुना तीर। छोड़ झमेला झूठे जग का, कह गए दास कबीर। पार लगाएंगे एक पल में तुलसी के रघुवीर। छोड़ झमेला झूठे जग का।
This might go to better.
Yes.
Guru Unuropi Jananam, Unuropi Moranam, Unuropi Janani Jatani Shayanam, Yo Samsare, Holu Dustare, Yupaho Pare, Pahi Murad. May I request Mr. Kishan Rana to come here and pay his panegyric to our erudite colleague, late Bhupat Oza, Mr.
Harsha Oza, members of our family, friends. We have assembled here to remember, pay tribute to and pray for the soul of our good friend, neighbor, companion, and stalwart, if I may call him that, Bhupat Oza. It's a solemn occasion, recalling the life, work, and friendships with such a colleague. For some of us, a colleague of 55 years. In my case, a colleague of 54 years is not easy. Many memories crowd one's mind. It's a solemn occasion. But if I remember the first 3 years that I spent in the company of Bhupat Oza, I think he would also perhaps wish that we remembered also some of the fun times and some of the lighter experiences that we underwent in friendship, in companionship, and in exuberance even. So, if you permit me, I would like to throw my mind back to those memories of a very youthful Bhupat, not married then, and a particularly close companion, because at Hong Kong and in Beijing, Bhupat and I shared a kind of experience that is, even in the service, perhaps a little unusual, in that we shared an apartment in one place and a house in another place, 1 year each. And even more strangely, you might say, we jointly owned our little four-wheeled object of transportation, which gave rise to an enormous number of stories of adventures even, in which a great deal of joy and lightness and humor was always present. I've written about it, so I will not say too much, except maybe just the very start of it all, that Bhupat and I were fellow students at the Chinese language school of Yongfang University. I had reached there a year ahead of him, so we were not classmates, but we shared this apartment. It was a very strange arrangement. We had a major domo, a Shanghainese, whom we all affectionately called Lopan, and there were two maid servants for the two of us. Rather bizarre, because you hardly need two people to look out at two people, but that's how it was in those days. And all our money, I mean the pittance that we got in those days, and some of you will remember those weren't easy days at all, money-wise. But they were great days, fun-wise. More than 70% of our money went in the apartment, because Laupan ran it in the tradition of an old Shanghainese. He was a bada sahab in his own way. He never went shopping, he ordered everything by phone. And we were so broke that Bhupat and I would occasionally borrow money from Laupan at the end of the month to meet our few odd expenses. We decided to buy a car. I think we had been together maybe for 4 months or thereabouts. And there was a strange situation in that Bhupat could drive but didn't have a license. And I had a license but I didn't know how to drive. Certainly not in Hong Kong with its hill roads and all. And after a great deal of research, we decided to buy a Volkswagen Beetle. And we were such novices, we knew nothing of car ownership, we knew nothing of cars, and that again gave rise to all kinds of strange adventures, which I have recounted in a book and I won't narrate now. But those were fun days. And then we went to Beijing. I went to Beijing first, and Bhupat landed up a year later. Jagat Mehta, a tough head of mission, affectionate, very fair, but quite tough. Ran his mission, ran his embassy in Beijing with a fairly stern hand. And again, Bhupat gently defied this without confronting anyone, but really kind of putting across his own point of view. See, because Bhupat and I, we both Gujus, as you would say. But actually, Bhupat was a Kutchi and I was a Kathiawadi. And there are nuances of difference between Gujus and Kutchis, as Harsha knows, and several of us know. I see Kiran Doshi there, another guy that is also a fellow Guju, but he's from the wrong side of Gujarat. Anyway, East African Gujarat, you could say. I just narrate one little story. We often went to picnics, the entire embassy. There was very little to do in Beijing. It was a very boring place in many, many ways. So the embassy fell upon itself for mutual amusement, as did the diplomatic corps. And we went in convoy with the head of mission's Chevrolet Impala. You know, that car was almost built like a ship, as big as a small boat, flying the tricolour to head the convoy. And we didn't know that heads of missions cars are meant to be treated with particular respect when they fly the car. So one of us, I forget who was driving, we overtook the car. And we'll see the little lecture the next day. That exhibitions cars, certainly when flying the flag, must not be overtaken. I said, fine, absolutely. And then Bhupat, with his irrepressible sense of mischief, he said, there is another way. Without overtaking the car, we can still go ahead. So he would, at a certain point along the route, zip down a side alley and shoot ahead and emerge in front of the flag car without having overtaken the flag car. So this Jagat found that he could not really object to, because we had not overtaken the flag car. We simply found another way. While this wallowing ship came in its own way, we had zipped ahead. Many such stories crowd my mind when I think of this, when I think of Bhupat, when I think of those days. I won't say more except to voice a thought. We lament the passing of a good friend. And for me at least, it evokes the feeling that all too often we spend these golden years in somewhat seclusion, somewhat of isolation, somewhat of retreat, and we don't make that little effort needed to renew, to refresh those old friendships and memories. And really I wish one had done more of that with a person like Bhupat. And this holds good, I suppose, for many of us. So I really want to pay tribute to Bhupat for all that he has been, all that he has achieved. And I know there are a couple of his batchmates who will speak, who know him much more intimately, because after those 3 years, somehow Bhupat and I, we kept in contact, somewhat at a distance. We really didn't come that close again as in those years. So I want to pay a tribute to Bhupat and say how much we miss such a great friend, a great companion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Well, I'm happy to hear so many words from our colleague, Kishan, Rana. But one little difficult with me, that I had catered for only 35 minutes, but I think I would beg from you to give me another 30 minutes, because there are many other speakers in the list, and a colleague of so much eminence must be spoken of as much as possible. So I do pray that you will allow me extra 20 to 30 minutes, above 30-35 minutes I better for. And our next speaker is Mr. Khanna Gajendra Singh. He is from Bhupat Oza's batch, and I would request him to come over here and pay his tributes to Bhupat Oza in 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you.
It is very difficult to believe that Bhupat is no more. Just 2 days before he passed away, we were sitting together in Czech at the back of the apartments. In summer it used to be in the evenings, and in winter it used to be in the mornings. My first meeting with Bhupat was when I was invited to the South Block of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and External Affairs before he went to the academy in the Soviet. And I entered the room of the undersecretary in charge of training. The first person I saw was Bhupat. There he was, smiling with his glasses. And that face never left my imagination till the very last day, and it did change very much in all these years. He lost some hair. He had always a great sense of humor, very great sense of humor, but very quiet one. He was also very honest and great integrity, and I think he spoke something about something in Sweden and had some problem with that honesty and integrity. And as I was next to him, those of us who joined the foreign service, I was always beside him whenever we went around to meet people, on tours, etc., etc. And so I came to know him quite well. Also, the other thing is, when I went and joined the academy one day before he did. So we were all chatting around, Director A.J. was there. So as soon as Bhupat entered, he said, here is Bhupat. There was a well-known dacoit in those days, Bhupat. And that, I think even in the interview, the board teased him, but he did very well that, Bhupat, etc. So his memory still remained with me, and we traveled together on tours. We were, always together. We were together here. Not only that. When I went to get telephone, in those days, when we came here in '89 or something like that, it was very difficult just to get telephone. We went to the chats, and GNL together. I changed to Airtel after some years, but I think he still had MTNL. So there are so many things that can keep on going on and on. And I still find it a very difficult to believe that he's still, he's not there, he's not there, he's not there. I wish him peace, calm, wherever he is. And also I wish my best to the family to bear up with this loss. Harsha and her daughters, two daughters.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Noinam sindonti shastani, noinam dahati pavaka, na choinam kridayam tapo, na shoshayati mahalika. I would like to invite Mr. Vinod Khanna to come here and express his eulogy to our eminent colleague, late Bhupat Oza. Mr. Khanna.
Friends, I was 2 years junior to Bhupat in the service, but like Kishan, I was allotted along with Bhupat Chinese as our compulsory foreign language. Being his junior by 2 years, I succeeded him. I missed these two in Hong Kong. I succeeded him as language probationer in Hong Kong. I succeeded him as second secretary in Beijing. But I finally caught up with him as a fellow under-secretary in East Asia Division. Very soon, one discovered that here was a man of very solid wisdom, a man of objectivity, all along with hard work, an exceedingly perceptive person, all the qualities required to be a good China watcher, and rather rare. And then, a couple of years later, we were together as first secretaries in the embassy in Tokyo. The same qualities which made him such an excellent China watcher made him a valuable member of the team in Tokyo. He demonstrated outstanding ability in looking after Indo-Japanese economic and commercial relations. In those days, Japan was one of our most important economic partners. Sorry, am I disturbing something? How challenging a job he was handling, I discovered when he left on transfer, and for a few months I was handed that responsibility. I recall how my hands trembled when I had to sign a check of 1 billion yen. But our Japanese assistant said, Bhupat, he did it. Great aplomb. What are you nervous about? But in Tokyo, one came, or I had an opportunity to know Bhupat well beyond the confines of the office. This is what happened. You know, there's a difference when we're serving together in the ministry and when we have a great opportunity of serving together in an embassy abroad. He invited me to play tennis and bridge with him. I soon discovered that he was a far better player, both on the tennis court and on the bridge table. It is there that I discovered another most endearing trait of Bhupat Bhai. You all who play bridge are aware that even the most wonderful of friends tend to blow their top if their partner makes a mistake. Not Bhupat Bhai. With a tolerance which was absolutely monumental. It made such a joy always to play with him. And then, the last 2 decades, as fellow residents of this marvelous complex, once again, Bhupat invites me to come and play golf with him in the Noida Golf Club. I wasn't a member when the resident. Once again, a huge gulf between his golfing capabilities and mine. Each time, you know, one of my shots went in a ridiculous direction here or there, I looked guiltily at Bhupat Bhai. But he, as gentle as ever, smiled indulgently, a word of advice here, a word of advice there, and we moved on. We shall miss him. He was an outstanding diplomat, a good friend, and a man with a generous spirit. Harsha, daughters, please rest assured that we share in your grief and will do our very best to make the transition to the life without him less burdensome.
Thank you, thank you. Kate kanta kaste putro সংশয় হয় মতিব বিচিত্র কষ্টতম কপুত আয়তস্তাৎ তম চিন্তয় যোদিতম ভ্রাত. May I request Mr. G. Parthasarthy to come here and say his encomium to our renowned colleague, late Bhupat Oza. Mr. Parthasarthy.
Harsha, young ladies, my friends, it's one really Mrs. Bhupat here, but all I would like to say is that as we mourn his passing away, it's also perhaps time to keep the family happy by celebrating his life. And the celebration of that life is important because, for me, because that we had pleasant memories together when we were together in Washington, in Moscow. And I recall Bhupat and Harsha arriving there, and as head of Chancellery, my biggest problem was to get through the Soviet authorities in getting a Japanese car cleared in the Soviet Union as they had come from Tokyo. But that was the least of it. Bhupat was great fun, and as Vinod has said before me, a man of immense patience. I came from a family where I was scared to play bridge or intimidated playing bridge because everybody else was an expert. But in Moscow, Bridge was combined with good evening alcohol, that cold climate. Bhupat was always there to play this, much to the annoyance of Ambassador B.M, because you played bridge late at night. You landed up late in office, and there was one occasion when all of us he saw, and he said, "आप लोग देर आते हो, आपको शर्म नहीं आती?" And the reply was, "शर्म तो आती है सर, लेकिन नींद भी तो आती है." This was the sort of atmosphere we lived together in Moscow, and Bhupat was just great fun. There was always Harsha, the Gujarati entrepreneur in him. Purushottam and I dealt with the political side, the Indo-Soviet treaty and things like that. Bhupat was there as commercial counselor, and his commercial instincts were appalled in dealing with the Soviets, because the prices were what they, it was not the exact value of the good, but the prices was the politics of the goods. And Bhupat said, "ये चलेगा नहीं, भाई ये market economy जानते नहीं है, that bound to collapse sometime." Prophetic came many years later, but Bhupat had this great ability to relate to you, to be able to be a good comrade with you when you worked with him. But I think perhaps one little known fact, and I think I should mention it there, was he was a man of immense integrity and courage. I would commend all my colleagues to read his path-breaking book, The Ambassador's Evidence. I was on my way to Pakistan from Australia when I heard that Bhupat's book on the subject is published. But it really gives perhaps the most direct and very blunt views of his tenure in Sweden, dealing with Bofors. And what emerged to me was that he hadn't changed from his Moscow days in saying his mind, in being skeptical of the Soviet Union's commercial practices, which as a commercial counselor he found appalling. But some things else which happened, which he as ambassador could not countenance. And having seen this process, I was really felt that here's a man of integrity and courage. So Bhupat, when we think of you in the high heavens, please remember that all of us will remember one thing on you more than all: your impeccable integrity and willingness to speak the truth frankly, even if it hurt you. That's a quality very few human beings have. And after retirement, I found nothing had changed, because we played golf together. Harsha used to join in. And I found that I would hit the ball much further than Bhupat. And be very proud, I think Harsha, you will remember. But by the time we reached the green, he had equalized. He was always bang on in the middle. I was here, there and everywhere. But those were great days, Harsha. You also played, we all played together. We'll remember that, but just remember, as we wish his soul peace in the high heavens, we also need to celebrate his life as a man of immense integrity, and that matters a lot in today's world. So, to you and to the girls, we are one family here in the apartments. Please treat us as family. We are always there for you. We look forward to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mathur. Kamam, krodham, lobham, moham, takta, atmanam, bhavayo, koha. May I now request Mr. S.N. Mathur from Indian Railway Service to come here and say a few words of tribute to our scholarly colleague, late Bhupat Oza.
Friends, we are all assembled here to pay a tribute very good friend of ours, Bhupat Oza. We were colleagues initially at the trainings at Masuri Academy, and though he joined the Foreign Service and I moved to the railways, we befriended each other very early during our training period. We continued to be very great friends during the academy time. Later for a while at Delhi, but then we all parted ways and I went to my own locations of training and Bhupat of course moved out to Rana, said to Beijing and to all kinds of places. It was only after a gap of about 40 years that we met again in Delhi, since we both decided to settle down in Delhi after our retirement. And the two ways we met more frequently. One was I being the convener of the 1961 batch. We used to organize our get-togethers fairly often, every 3 to 4 months. And Bhupat, he was very, very regular. He would never miss any batch meet. There have been occasions when he was planning to go to US, because he used to visit US regularly to visit his daughters. But whenever he found that my date of holding a batch meet is clashing with his program, he would immediately change the date of departure to US. Such was his indeed bonding with the entire batch, which was really something to admire. I mean, he was such a lovable person. We would all like to meet him there, and though he was quiet in many ways, and never, I would say a man of few words, but when you speak to him, he will speak his heart out, and you can long conversations of something intellectually superior, not the type of flippant talks that we all have at times. No, he would never do it. He was very gentle, very suave, very, very particular about what he says. So these are great qualities in a person like Bhupat. I would only add a few things that Bhupat endeared himself to me so well. We used to play golf. Very often I used to meet him at the golf course, though we never had a chance to be together. Bhupat was rather reluctant to get up as early as Harsha would. And he would say, no, I'll join you later. But Harsha, she would make him wake up early and drive him to golf course. And there we used to meet fairly often.
Also in that car, 4-wheeler.
All one. Yeah. So I could share you the experiences which all other colleagues of his in the Foreign Service have done, because they have been together at many places beside the MEA. But for the last 20 years, I've seen and met Harsha, family, and Bhupat, and these are the memories which will ever be living in my memory. And I could only go to one small line which I read somewhere, that death leaves a wound which is difficult to heal, but love leaves a memory which is difficult to steal. So we love Bhupat, we'll always remember Bhupat. So rest in peace, Bhupat, wherever you are. Thank you.
Last we met was 22nd of
Yeah, we
June. We met for the Japanese lunch.
Thank you very much, Mr. S.N. Mathur. Vatangshi jirnani yata vihayo, navani grahannati naro parani, tata shorirani vihayo, jirnana nani sangati navani dehi. May I request Dr. Razia Doshi to come and pay her respect for a change. Thank you very much.
I think Harsha did go through the order of the China experts. First it was Kishan, then it was Bhupat, after him was Raghu, Kiran, and Vinod. So she got up and requested Kiran if he would say a few words. For some strange reason I saw him say no. So I'm just going to say a very short anecdote which I learned from the Irish, to smile through tears. When we reached Hong Kong, Raghu, Kiran and I, somebody with the tarmac was waving after us. We realized that was Bhupat, and he was waving at me, not at Raghu or Kiran. So when I came down, he said, Kemcho. So I said, I don't know too much Gujarati, but I do know Sal. So he said, but dosa to avre chhe na. So I said, what are you talking about? I'm no cook. So whether it is dosa or khandvi or handvi or whatever, I do not cook. What on earth have you sent you here for then? Why are you here? I thought one wife was coming. Geeta followed later. But I'm sure she also told him the same thing. Now, this is the incident that would capture a bit of the spirit of the person we're talking about. Hansa I met much later. I'm not going to reveal all his soft spots in Hong Kong to you today here. But we had a lovely friend in him, someone we definitely, all of us.
In Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, because after that our paths didn't cross.
I didn't
Kiran came
exist
back.
then. I didn't exist then.
I know, but you came into our lives on the golf course. The two of you were always together. We had tea together early morning. We had sometimes some lunch and chits and chats. So when you did come into our lives, you did come together. And that is what life is
And
about.
Kiran, my, so much of golfing.
I know, there's another colleague I will remember today.
Whenever I am there, he's there.
Yeah, I know, the two of you, and there was Kiran's batchmate, Sue and his wife.
Yeah.
Chits Studies. So I do miss them also on the golf course. I hope the two of you will pair up now and keep playing
Yes, sir.
together. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Doshi. Well, at the end, I would like on your behalf to convey our deepest sense of sadness and grief and sincerest condolences to Harsha Oza and their two daughters who are here with us, Miss Vinita Oza and Miss Khanna Oza, on the passing away of our distinguished wife, sympathetic, friendly, amiable colleague, late Bhupat Oza, and pray to God to give them strength to bear this irreparable loss. Thank you very much. And this ends the meeting of prayer and condolences. Thank you for your august participation. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. Thank you very much.
I met him there. That's I think
Yes, yes. You're going to cover the elections? Yes, I will. Yeah. That is some nice.
Oh, yes. But sometimes you come in the right side, you know. She and here 2 days